Hello, true believers. It is time for a marvelous mutant unboxing. Hey, everyone. So, yeah, I'm a little behind on some of my unboxings. So, I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit short and different. Uh, Pretty much all mutants. Three of them with the X Factor team and one with the X Force team. I think I'm going to unbox each figure first and then just kind of do a little posing session with each one. And I think I'll start with X-Force's Archangel. Alright, let's take a quick look at Archangel. Here you see him in the window. Marvel Legends, warning, don't put the figure in your mouth. Archangel, X-Force, Hasbro, 4 and up. Here's the side with a picture of Archangel and the X on the bottom. Here's the back, another picture of Angel with X-Force. Here's the bio, pause it if you want to read it. Here's the top with an X. Here's the side, little window, Marvel Legends, Archangel, and another picture of Archangel's portrait. And here's the bottom. So starting off, Warren has his regular head and two fisted hands for default. And he also comes with a yelling head and two open splayed out hands. I'll probably be using the hands for display. I don't know which head I want to use yet. No butterfly joints, but that's to be expected because of the wings. And he can definitely look up pretty much all the way, which is good for a flying person. So that's pretty cool. Let's get his wings attached. Here's Archangel with his wings on. He looks pretty dope with them. Here's the back. Definitely takes up a lot of real estate. Definitely putting him on a flight stand. Why would you have him on the ground? He should be flying. And then I'll put on his other accessories to show those off. And attached now are his wing blades that he's shooting off. They were a little tricky to put on, but once you get them on, they look pretty cool. I don't know if I will display them with them on. I might, as long as they can stay on. But yeah, he looks really cool with them. Here we have Cyclops from the Nemesis Build-A-Figure. Here's figure with the window, Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure, Marvel's Nemesis. Here's Cyclops' name, X-Men, warning, don't put the small pieces in your mouth. Here we have a picture of somewhat an old school look at the comic version of Cyclops, Marvel Legends again. Here we have Cyclops, every figure that comes in the wave. Here's Nemesis, and here's a closer look at the bio. Pause it if you want to read that little bit. Here's the side, again, Cyclops at the bottom, X on the top, and here's the bottom. Before we take a quick look at Cyclops, here's the Build-A-Figure piece for Nemesis. So by default, Cyclops comes with this smirky face and two fisted hands. And Cyclops comes with his yelling face and one open hand, and one hand he can either give directions or use to open his visor. You see that the inside area where his eyes, that's where you can plug in the other effects. Another thing that's cool, his head will go all the way up in case he wants to shoot an optic beam up in the sky. So now we have attached Cyclops' red licorice. Uh, Looks pretty awesome. It has the blast like it's hitting something. Let's get him looking all the way up. Now we have him shooting up into the sky. I think later on in the comics, he put the buttons in his glove. That way he wouldn't always have to put his hand to his ears to activate the visor so he can shoot out his optic blast. But yeah, looks pretty cool. All right, let's take a quick look at Jean Grey. Here she is in her retro package. I have no idea why Hasbro didn't paint her boots. I mean, that's how they came here. Anyway, I did get another one because I do want to try to paint those in. But here's the back. The figure, double, the two different head sculpts. And you can pause it if you want to read her little bio. Here's her default fighting face and two fisted hands. Here's her alternate head, uh, different mask, smiling, her alternate hands. My hands will not let me try to put it on. I also think might have to use a little bit of tack, so I might try that towards the end of the video. And last but definitely not least is Angel, again from X Factor. Again, here's Marvel Legends, the figure in the window, X-Men, Marvel's Angel. Warning, don't put these little pieces in your mouth. Here's a side portrait of Angel. Here's a different picture of Angel. A little bit of the bio. You can pause it if you like to read it. Here's just a reverse picture from the other side. Here's the top and the bottom. By default, Warren comes with two fisted hands and a stoic look. His head can look all the way up. That way, when he's flying around, he can definitely see without having to arch his whole body. And he comes with this big, cheesy, smiley face and two open hands. It would have been nice if they would have given him two of these and then two of these. If I'm going to finish off this X Factor team, I needed them. Besides the Toy Biz Angel, he was looking pretty rough. I might take a picture of him and put it up so you guys can have a better look. But yeah, this one is definitely a lot better. So here's Angel with his wings attached. The detail in the wings are really nice. I don't think they're quite as cool as Archangel's, but that's my opinion. But they do open up. They take a lot of real estate, but I do have a flying display stand for him, since he is taking the place of the Toy Biz Angel. Uh, he's going to take that flight stand. But yeah, the wings look really cool. Here's the back. That's pretty much the main reason Angel and Archangels, they don't have the butterfly joints, because you had to plug in the wings in the back, and the butterfly joints I don't believe would have worked. But yeah, there's Angel. And here we have Warren Worthington, Archangel with X-Force on a flight stand, you know, throwing out, flinging out, shooting out his uh, wing blades. Figure looks pretty awesome. Details are great. Very posable. Definitely a nice addition to the X-Force team. Now we have Scott Summers pretty much either jumping up using his optic blast, or doing something similar from X-Men 97, falling down and then using his optic blast to slow him down and let him land without being harmed, which I have to say was a pretty good scene for Cyclops. He's definitely not one of my favorites, but that was really cool. Definitely glad to have him for my X Factor team. Hopefully, Hasbro will do a Beast for X Factor, and the Beast version that has him in an X Factor uniform, and before he became the blue furball that we all know and love. And here we have Jean Grey using her telekinetic abilities. I don't think at this point she learned how to fly, but since I don't feel like adjusting the camera and stuff, uh, we're just going to say she's jumping or whatever. Uh, I like the head sculpt that she has on currently, more so than the other. I still don't like the little effect that she came with. Again, I would probably have to use a little bit of tack to try to put it on and where it would stay. But yeah, overall, she looks good, other than not having her boots painted. Last but not least, we have Warren Worthington III, Marvel's Angel, X Factor uniform. Again, up in the air, waving to the people down below. Figure looks great. His wings, the details in them are awesome. Articulation's really good. Uh, Again, I'm glad that I did pick this one up. A lot better than the Toy Biz version. But overall, he's a great figure. So here are the various X-Men figures. You have Warren Worthington III as Angel and Archangel, Jean Grey, and Cyclops. Hopefully they will finish the, well, I don't know about finish, but hopefully they will release a Beast and Iceman that goes with this X Factor team that I will post somewhere here in the video. This Archangel for X Force, pretty much I believe he finishes off the team. I don't know of any other figures unless they'll make a domino, but I pretty much have all the other figures. I grew up reading the X-Men, all the various different X-Men comic books out there, from X Factor, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Excalibur, X-Force, all of them. But I did stop around 2000s era. I think the last series that I was reading was the Phoenix Force era, but that's basically going to do it. I love the way that Scott, Jean, and Warren look for X Factor. Archangel for X Force looks awesome. Love the detail, and then his wing blades, feather blades that he shoots off or flings off, looks awesome. Let me know in the comments which X-Men group is your favorite, and I think that's going to do it for this video. Give it a thumbs up. Simo says, collect what you like. Be awesome to one another. Till the next video, to me, my X-Men.